Today I'm breaking down the step-by-step process of how to move to Sweden in 2025. I'll talk about what permits you need, how to apply, and how to prepare for life once you arrive. So if you're dreaming of starting a new life in Sweden, whether it's for work, studies, or joining a loved one, then this video is for you. My goal is to make this journey a little easier for you because I know exactly how overwhelming it can be at the start. So let's get to the video, shall we? So basically, there is no one-size-fits-all route to moving to Sweden. So the first step is to figure out why you're coming. And here are the most common reasons people move to Sweden. First, to join a family member who already lives here, like I did, to study at a university or take part in an exchange program, to work or accept a job offer, to search for work. There is actually a job seeker permit, even though a lot of people don't know it. To seek for protection or asylum, or even to start a business or work as a freelancer. Each path has its own application process, timelines, and rules. So be sure to apply under the right category. I will cover those in the future episodes in this series. So once you've figured out your why, then get your documents ready. You need to do this before even you apply. Trust me, this will save you weeks of stress. And here are the common documents that are usually needed. A valid passport, check for the expiration date, it's very important. A clear reason for your move, this could be a job offer, acceptance letter, marriage certificate, etc. Proof you can support yourself, for example, income, savings, or some form of employment. Health insurance, especially if you won't be covered immediately. You need a housing plan here in Sweden. This is especially important for family reunification. If you have any of these documents in your local language, make sure they are all translated in Swedish or English, and they must be certified translations. A quick tip: scan and save everything in a folder so you can upload easily when applying online, because all the applications are done online. Once you've collected all the needed documents, it's time to apply at the Swedish Migration Agency, also known as Migrationsverket. And as I said before, all applications are done online, and I will link it in the description. And each category has its own section. It's quite straightforward, and you'll find detailed instructions and button that says apply. You can decide whether you want the application to be in English or in Swedish, and you will upload your documents and pay a fee of about 1,500 to 2,000 Swedish crown, depending on your reason for moving here. So once you submit your completed application, you will receive an email with a message telling you that we have received your application, and they will inform you the approximate waiting time. I recall from my case when I was applying to come to join my husband. Usually when you are joining a family member, it's actually the family member that is in Sweden is supposed to apply for you. So my husband actually applied for me. And the waiting time at that time was up to, I think, 36 months. But we were so lucky to get it within, I think it was 6 months or probably 4 months after we applied. So it depends. Some can get it within 2 weeks. Some can even wait for 36 months and nothing is happening. Nobody knows why, but there is some trick to make it happen, and I'll probably talk about it in the next episodes of this series. But let's move on to the next point. During the waiting period, you are not allowed to visit Sweden for any purpose until the decision has been reached. This can be hard, especially for a couple that want to reunite together, but that's how it is. You may be asked to visit a Swedish embassy in your country for an interview, and also to show some original documents. They may request you to submit extra proof about your finances, housing, or the relationship if you're joining a family member. This information is publicly available in the Swedish Migration Agency. I will put the link in the description below. And the good thing is it's available in English, Swedish, and I think these days even in Arabics. So just go and check it out. So let's say you got great results and you've been approved. Yay! You will receive a resident permit card through your embassy or a letter that lets you travel to Sweden. And here's what to do once you arrive in Sweden. So the very first thing that you need to do is to go to Migrationsverket. This is the Swedish tax agency, and you go here to apply for your personnummer or the Swedish national ID. To get your Swedish national ID, you will need an address where they need to send it somewhere, so that's why it's needed. You need to process your personal number as the first thing, because this is the key to getting access to everything in Sweden, from healthcare to getting a bank account or renting a home. Getting a personal number can take up to, I think, up to 4 weeks. It also depends on how many people have applied and which municipality you are in. So the bigger the municipality, probably it might take a little bit longer. For me, it was way back, so I really don't remember how long it took, but I don't think it took quite a long time. So once your personal number is ready, they will send it to your post address, and this is why they require you to have an address. This address doesn't have to be a home. It could even be that you're living temporarily in a hotel or a guest house, as long as they have somewhere where they can send you the personal number. So once you get your personal number, the next thing that you need to do is to set up your healthcare access. So in Sweden, when you get sick, you don't go directly to the hospital. They have a slightly different system. They have these local clinics in each commune that are called vårdcentral. I'm not sure the translation in English. I will have to Google that, and I will probably put it on the screen. So basically you need to register. You choose one. There are so many companies, and I think most of them are private. So there are so many companies that you can decide to choose from, and you need to choose one and register yourself. And once you get registered there, this is where you will get all your health care. Some of them, they provide the service of a family doctor. Some, they even have a dentist or a gynecologist, specialists that are linked to this vårdcentral. Usually healthcare is free of charge, especially when you have the personal number. You will only pay a very minimal amount, I think about 200 up to 300 to see a doctor. And to see a nurse, there are some changes that have happened. I think sometimes you need to pay, but I will have to check and link it in the description, or I will put it in the screen how much you need to pay to see a nurse. It used to be free, but I recall I was in the vårdcentral. I had an appointment just a couple of weeks ago, and I saw this announcement, and I just skimmed read it. I didn't read it well, but I think there is a little price that you pay to see a nurse too. Otherwise, the rest of the healthcare is heavily subsidized by the taxpayers' money. Third thing that you need to do is get your bank account, and through your bank account you can get your digital ID that is called BankID. A bank account is very important in Sweden because most transactions are happening digitally. I don't think there are many places that you can actually go and pay by cash. Cash is not very king here in Sweden. There are some stores that accept minimum amount of cash, but most places, exchanges that are done between, if you're buying something big or anything, usually you have to pay that by card. So a bank account is extremely important. And note that you can still apply to your healthcare and a bank account at the same time. This doesn't have to be the first or the second. So maybe you can choose a day that you go and register to the vårdcentral, and the same day you can book an appointment to go and open a bank account. Or you can also do all these things online. If you don't have a house, you need to now start looking for getting an apartment or a home. There are queues everywhere. In every municipality you will find queues for getting a rental, sometimes even for buying a house, which is in the form of a bostadsrätt. Unless you're buying some sort of a house that is fully owned by you, then I think this could be slightly easy, because you just need to get a bank loan, or if you have your own money, you're coming with your own money and paying everything in advance, then that's well and good. You will not struggle. But if you're coming here by yourself, maybe to start a business, I would highly recommend you to join queues for rentals. if you're not buying a house for that matter. For students, it's not a big problem. Usually the schools will help you finding a place to live. There are plenty of student apartments, and the schools would guide you and explain to you which places to book or to list yourself so that you can find a place to live. Now that you have everything, the basics that you need, the next thing that you need to do is make sure you register for SFI, or it's called Svenska för invandrare, Swedish for immigrants, the English translation. This is completely free, and it's one of the best ways to begin integrating into the Swedish society. So you will typically start by booking a meeting with a local municipal advisor, also known as kommunvägledare in Swedish. They will assess your educational background and goals, then help place you in the right class and level. Trust me, the sooner you do this, the better, especially if you're planning to stay long term or want to start working sooner in Sweden and have multiple options. Additionally, if you are relocating with kids, your next priority should be finding a school for them. You do this by contacting your local municipality, or also known in Swedish kommun. So here's the thing, in Sweden you have two main school types. You have public schools, which are run by the municipality or commune, and then you have these independent schools, which are privately run but still publicly funded. All schools, both public and private, are free of charge. Now here is my personal take, and I'm talking from experience because I moved to Sweden with my son. He was 8 years old, so I had to register him to find him a school. Now here's my personal take, and this is from experience because I moved there with my son who was 8 years old, and I needed to find a school for him. If you're planning to stay in Sweden for the long haul, I highly recommend choosing a public school. In my experience, they offer more resources, stronger support for integration, and your child would adjust to the Swedish system much faster. Sweden is unique in this way, and yes, believe it or not, public schools are often better than private ones. But that's a whole video for another day. Lastly, spend some time learning how everyday life in Sweden works. From how Swedes read the calendar in weeks, yes, they will say week 33 instead of a date, to how we sort out our waste and recycling. There's a whole system for that too. It might feel like you're starting from scratch, but trust me, Sweden is designed to help you integrate slowly but surely. So give yourself some grace and time. You will get there. And if you want to get to know more about the Swedish culture, tips and everything, just check the videos in my channel. I've covered quite a lot about food, about weather, about everything. So just check it out and see, maybe you will learn something about Sweden. Just a little bit more info about your permit. Most residence permits are valid for 1 to 2 years. After that, you can renew or apply for permanent residence, typically after 2 years of continuous residence. You will not get the permanent residence automatically, so to increase your chances of qualifying for permanent residence, you need to keep your documents in order. This means that stay away from debt and avoid issues with the Swedish authorities. Obey the law. I mean, need we say that? Sweden takes even minor infractions seriously. Stay informed on immigration rule changes and stay connected to your community. Engagement really matters. You can join SFI classes. Usually they would have a Språk Cafe. I think in English it's called language cafe, where different people would meet with the locals and practice their Swedish. You can also join some sports club. According to the Swedes, this is where you would meet and make Swedish friends. So if you're interested in that and you love sports, why not? Next, you need to start to apply for your driving license. This depends on which country you're coming from. If you're coming from the European Union and you have a European driving license, that means you would not require a Swedish driving license. But if you're coming anywhere outside of the EU, be it in Africa, in America, England, anywhere that is outside the Eurozone. That means you will have to start all the way from scratch for your driving license. For me, with my Tanzanian driving license, I was allowed to drive for 1 year before I could not drive again. So I had to get my Swedish driving license. And getting a Swedish driving license is something for another video. It's such a struggle, I tell you. But some people are lucky. So this was my personal opinion. But I think one day I will talk about that experience also. It was really hard for me to get the Swedish driving license. But today I have it and I am very happy. Well, I hope this guide gave you a clear picture of how to move to Sweden in 2025 and what to expect when starting out. If you're thinking about moving here to join a loved one, find work or study, don't miss the next parts in the series. And next week, we'll be diving into how to move to Sweden to join a family member. We'll go into detail on what kind of documents are needed and everything you need to know about the requirements, the timelines, and what's changing in 2025. I hope you find this helpful. Don't forget to like the video and hit that subscribe button for more weekly guides. And let me know in the comments, what path are you planning to take? Or is there anything that was not clear? Please do let me know. See you next week. Hej då!